40 laps the distance here tonight in the Dome. The 9th annual Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by O'Reilly, the Velocita Super Late Model Main Event. Dustin, kick the party into high gear.
They're going to go green in the Octane Race Products starting zone. Bobby Pierce on the pole, Brendan Smith on the outside. The 9th annual Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals is underway.
Green flags up, off into 1 and 2. Pierce throws the slaughter. Oh, Brendan Smith. Oh, he's going to get sideways, and that's going to get Sheppy and a handful of others, and we're going to try it again as Brendan Smith's 19M got sideways, and there was a lot of evasive action. There was some contact back there. Multi-cars, everybody rotating their starting spot, but who got something bent on the race car that might not be something they can cope with? That's going to be the question. You see Brian Shirley sideways, door dented in on that 3S, checking to make sure the tires are clear. And man, I hate to see that first corner, and Brendan Smith went in there, and just like he hit the slime, and that car went completely sideways on him.
Yeah, you do wonder if he hit the slime or if he just, as our good friend Dale McDowell would say, it looked like maybe he over-rotated down there in turns 1 and 2. And as you see, Brian Shirley's going to get the Hot Shot 107, number 3S, pointed back in the right direction.
Oh, what a tough break for Mark Whitener.
That is a tough break for Mark Whitener as well. Helmet is off. He's getting pushed back in. How about a Gateway out of Middleburg, Florida? He put on a show all weekend long. Let Mark Whitener hear you. Give him a round of applause.
I like that he came out for intros, holding the hand of his wife, Bridget, and he brought his friends with him. I think you'll be seeing Whitener back at the Dome for many years to come.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man, what a tough break for him. He was scheduled to roll off in the inside of row number 3, that 5th starting position. And you heard him talk about it, too, when he drew the 5 and shot the T-shirt in the crowd. He said, hey, it's the 5. I'm number 5. Maybe it's good luck. Unfortunately, Lady Luck dealing Mark Whitener a bad hand here tonight.
I think Ashton Winger's got a sore back. I'm still thinking about that T-ball down there.
I mean, he may need to go to a chiropractor.
And how many people has Kyle Bronson picked up this weekend? We know he's picked Ashton and Huddy up.
That body slam through the table looked a little too natural for KB40, right. Let me tell you. All right, green lights are turned off. We're going to try it again. Gateway this time by inside row moves up. They'll fire in the Octane Race Products starting zone, and the Gateway Dirt Nationals is underway.
Hey, we'll see if it's a little bit cleaner this time through 1 and 2. Pierce with the same move to the lead. Brendan Smith a much better run through there. Ricky Thornton Jr. peeks to his inside. Thornton off into turns 3 and 4. Right up in front of Brendan Smith. Smith has to get on the binders, keep from turning him. That opens the door. Here comes Harrison.
Harrison going to go down to the bottom. It won't be long. We'll see that 33 car up on the top. I have no doubt about it. And I know what? The 20 RT and really the rest of the field, they don't want to see the 32 car get too far away from him. Meanwhile, Jason Feger moving up and Brian Shirley out of the party in the 3S.
Yeah, Shirley spun to the infield. He's going to call it a night in the Todd Brennan Racing 3S. Meanwhile, Jason Feger, as you said, he's cracked the podium and he'll go to work now.
And Shirley trying to inch back out on the racetrack, and that might draw a Coleman Farms Racing caution flag.
Or it might not. I'm not sure what's going to happen there as we continue to click off the laps.
Nope.
Nope, there it is.
There it is.
Well, he's going to be down a few laps.
Yes, he is. Yeah, Brian Shirley unofficially with 1 lap scored in this one.
Flat left rear on the 49 of Jonathan Davenport, guys. And I think the 19 of Sorensen's got problems. He might have a right rear flat as well.
Watch out, Blake. Blake, you were almost in the line of fire of Evel Knievel down there.
Flat right front for Sorensen, guys.
And you got to wonder if some of that came out to that lap 1 initial start where everybody got together. And Superman out of the party. He's won a lot of big races. He is not going to get a Dome title here tonight. He'll try again next year. And the replay for Brian Shirley. And that's probably where you saw the flat tire on Davenport play. Maybe him and Shirley got together. Shirley spun to the infield. And man, that could have been bad.
You wonder if that car, if it shut off when he spun down there to the infield as well. Can't blame Shirley for wanting to get back out on the racetrack in one sense, but in another sense, by the time he got that car fired back up and inched out, he was already 2 laps down to the field as well.
Yeah, and you see Dustin Sorensen pulling off the helmet, dejected look on his face, the Rochester, Minnesota driver. This is also the highest that cushion has been on the wall all weekend, especially look, you got down there in turn 1. You gotta think that thing could be level at the top of the wall. And we've seen them race on top of the wall here at the Dome. It's been entertaining in previous years.
It was pretty gnarly. 4 in the books, 36 to go. Bobby Pierce fires in the Octane Race Products restart zone, but Dylan Thornton unable to come up to speed in that DRT house car.
Yeah, that car did not fire, and that brought the Coleman Farms caution back out as soon as they lit the fires down in the Octane Race Products start zone and radioing up to the tower, and he may need the assistance of a push down there for the 13.
This time by, again, 4 laps in the books, 36 laps remaining. Bobby Pierce leads. Ricky Thornton Jr. is second. Jason Feger third. Mike Harrison fourth. And Brendan Smith will round out the top 5. $70,000 on the line in the Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals.
Green's up. They look for a little bit of a long green flag run. Only 4 laps on the board. Feger bounces through the holes, and that opens the door for the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. to his inside. Thornton throws the slider. Feger turns back down the hill. Pierce continues to lead, and just like that, Jason Feger up to second. He'll slide up in front of Thornton, leaves a lane after good, hard, clean racing.
That was a masterclass crossover by Jason Feger right there, and he executed it perfectly, and that puts the 25 in front of the 20 RT, and he's now going to try to chase down his fellow Land of Lincoln driver, Bobby Pierce. You see these two race a lot over the course of the season, and I'm telling you what, Feger's got a fast hot rod in the Kenny Schrader throwback.
Jason Feger and Bobby Pierce running that Herald and Review Macon Speedway line right now, and they know how to get around these tight bull rings, but guess what? Thornton's good everywhere as well. Harrison back and forth. How about Josh Rice in 5th? As right now the top 3 content to ride, knows the tell, but they'll close in on the back of the pack, and if we can stay clean and green, that's when decisions will get made, and we'll see if they're good ones or bad ones.
A lot of bad decisions have maybe been made here throughout the course of the weekend by a lot of different people. I'm most interested right now, though, Ben, in looking at the line these guys are running. The top 5 or so all running the same line. They all go down to the bottom. Just so we say that, Jason Feger makes a liar out of him. He goes high, but they all went to the bottom down in 1 and 2, and then they all drift high down in 3 and 4 as they close in on the back of the field.
Yeah, and you got to be careful in the middle of 1 and 2. It's pretty gnarly down there. There's some big holes. That time by, Bobby Pierce added about 0.2 of a second to his lead over Jason Feger. Feger trying different lines. You got Ricky Thornton Jr. right there with him. 12 down, 28 to go in the Dohm. It's been all BP 32 so far.
And Feger really testing the waters on the high side now, down in turns 1 and 2, and you got to think he sees the lap traffic just in front of your race leader, Bobby Pierce, as he's maybe trying to plot a strategy to work around the 32. The 32's got Carson Hocevar directly in front of him, and right now Pierce unable to dispose of the Chili's number 77.
Yeah, the lead was 1.3 seconds. It's down to 0.9 of a second, and now Pierce will finally get around Hocevar. And now Jason Feger have to deal with the lap traffic. 3 wide lap traffic briefly in front of your leaders, though, and if we can stay green, this one's going to get really entertaining with 15 in the books.
You're exactly right. That lap traffic is hot and heavy in front of your race leader, Bobby Pierce. You look on back through the field, Tyler Carpenter has wasted no time coming from the 18th starting position. Ben, he is up to 8th already, marching through the field looking for his 3rd Gateway Dirt Nationals win.
You got to think he would love a few Coleman Farms cautions that he's not part of. Meanwhile, Feger having issues with Hocevar. Now Hocevar and Carson Hocevar, he'll clear him, and he's getting a little bit of damage as Feger, right rear quarter panel hanging in the cell panel off that 25. No lap traffic between he and Pierce right now, though, working lap 18.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce, though, has nowhere to go. The back of the field has backed up to the 32. They're side by side and occasionally 3 wide in front of him, and you got to think that Jason Feger and Ricky Thornton Jr. are salivating now the opportunity to possibly close in on the 32. Ben, 19 in the books.
Lap traffic, that's what makes the Dohm especially challenging. And Pierce diamonds off the corner there, and he'll look to the inside of Trevor Gundaker, maintaining a 1.2 second advantage right now over Feger. Feger might make a little bit of ground there, though, and he's bringing Thornton to the party with him. Harrison back and forth.
Halfway home, Ben. 20 laps in the books, 20 laps remaining here in the Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by O'Reilly. And every time you look up, you see the traffic in front of Bobby Pierce. You think maybe Thornton or Feger can gain on him, and they're unable to do so.
That's
Thornton throws caution to the wind. He works by Feger momentarily. Feger drives back down under him.
And Pierce right now starting to pull away as Thornton goes to second. Feger back to third. Harrison rides in fourth. Fifth is Brandon Sheppard working lap 23 of this 40-lap affair. And right now Pierce is keeping that race car clean. He works through lap traffic. His lead slowly growing. That time by actually loses 0.3, 1.1 seconds to Thornton Jr. Does Thornton Jr. think it's go time?
Yeah, he better think that it's go time because I tell you what, Bobby Pierce, he's not really like a hot knife through butter going through the back of the field, but he's really just out there running his own race, and he's doing a good job as Thornton hung up a little bit behind the 11 Gundaker. Mike Harrison goes around your 4th place car, and that will draw the Coleman Farms Racing caution with 24 in the books, 16 laps remaining.
What happened there? I looked up and the car was already around. Did you see it?
Same, but the iBox Springs instant replay will tell the tale right here.
And inside of Jason Feger, and man, just got in there, no contact, and car just snapped around on him. Close quarters racing, challenging racing. Blake Anderson, what do you see from the infield?
Boy, they are using every inch of this racetrack. I'm standing right under our cameraman, Cody Hicken, in the middle of 3 and 4, right on the wall, and he can reach out and high-five some of these drivers, and then you got guys up on the fence. It's going to be a fun final dash. 16 laps for 70 to grand to win. Right now, Bobby Pierce seems to be a man on his own planet. Trevor Gundaker with the flat left rear, bringing his Gateway Dirt Nationals to a close.
Yeah, Harrison's going to call it a night. So again, 24 laps down.
Yes, he did. And there.
Dick Trickle proud, too. All the way down to the coffee and the cigarette in the driver intro. And, yeah, you see debris.
Rubber debris on the racetrack. And, yeah, that was a little short on air.
Hey, one thing to keep your eye on right there, Jason Feger. I just saw it right over here. His GoPro camera has come loose, and I can see that it was kind of like flopping in the wind right over there, right in his peripheral vision to the right where the passenger side of the race car would be. So something to keep an eye on.
That's great camera work there by our crew. Yep, and that's a great call there, Trenton Berry. Lights are out. We're going to go racing this time by 24 in the book, 16 laps to go.
And Pierce, your leader. Does Thornton have anything for him? Can Feger get back up there? Pierce has led the whole way so far, and he'll lead him off at 2. Here comes Brandon Sheppard as he goes to work on his buddy Jason Feger.
A couple guys trying to get the inside groove working down in 3 and 4. It's Josh Rice and Tyler Carpenter leading that charge, and they'll stay low down in 1 and 2. Nick Hoffman's going to throw his head in the ring as well. Piece of plastic down in turns 3 and 4. No harm, no foul. We stay green. 14 laps to go for Pierce.
Man, and Pierce in open traffic, just starting to stretch it out right now over Ricky Thornton Jr. This time out of turn 4, a Baker's dozen at the line. 13 to go, 27 in the books. It's been all Bobby Pierce from the pole here tonight. And you really thought Thornton might have something for him if he closed in on him. And he will not so far, but we'll see the Coleman Farms caution, as you got to believe there may be some debris out on the speedway.
And Bobby Pierce had opened up just in the last 3 laps, opened up a 1.5 second advantage over the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. That lead will erase.
One slightly used spoiler.
And we'll bunch him back up again. 27 scored, 13 to go. Still Pierce, Thornton, Feger, Sheppard, and now Ashton Winger will round out the top 5 from 11.
And if you're everybody else in the top 5 not named Bobby Pierce, you got to be thinking, man, we just had clean track, and he drove away from us.
Yeah.
So 13 laps to figure it out.
Yeah, that 32 is a rocket ship at the front of the field.
And let's not forget, if he wins tonight, win number 32 on the year. This would be worth $70,000. He got a $75,000 title with FloRacing Night in America. He got, $200,000 with the World of Outlaws?
Yeah, and he won the Sunoco Race Fields North-South 100, correct?
Yeah. But Thornton said not going to give up that easy as he comes after Pierce down the back straightaway. A better start for Thornton. Feger's there now. Sheppard looks to the inside of Feger once again.
Yeah, here comes Brandon Sheppard down to the inside of Feger, trying to find a spot on the podium. Right now, unable to do it. Will he throw a slider down in 1 and 2? Yes, he will. He clears the 25, and now Land of Lincoln moves into the 3 of the top 4 spots. And the 20, and we've got a Coleman Farms Racing caution
Carpenter
on the track again.
Tyler Carpenter, bottom of turn 2.
Something with the rear end there, guys. Hard to tell from that shot, but his left rear is way out from the inside of the body. There's the iBox replay.
It looks like a little, definitely rear end issues, maybe broken. Could have got the J-bar, takes the drive shaft with it. Rear end shifts over. Yeah, man, that's a tough one out of this one. And I'm going to tell you the guy that might like a lap or 2 and then a caution. Of course, he has to give that spot back to Feger. It feels like Brandon Sheppard's starting to come to life now with about a dozen laps remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandon Sheppard, he's been kind of hanging out right there, 4th, 5th, or 6th most of the race. He just cleared Jason Feger with a slider, but as we go back to the last fully scored lap, that'll take us back to the running order on lap number 28, as you mentioned, Ben. So it's still Bobby Pierce out front. It's still Ricky Thornton in 2nd, Jason Feger 3rd, Brandon Sheppard 4th, and Ashton Winger 5th. It will be Nick Hoffman now in the 6th position. Josh Rice is 7th. Tyler Carpenter was running 8th. That spot will go to Ethan Dotson. Brendan Smith is 9th. And Devin Moran from 20th in a promoter's provisional, now inside the top 10. That'll
give him the 10th spot. And yes, some guys have dropped out, but you got to survive to be there at the end. And we know the Dohm it's tough on equipment. And again, that freeboard down there in turn 1 about no longer exists on that wall. That cushion has got built up on it.
That is as gnarly of a cushion as I have maybe ever seen here at the Dohm at America Center. Pierce had slowed down there at the top of the track. You wonder if he was maybe pointing out some debris to track officials, and that appears to be the case.
He was telling him, throw the checker, we're good.
Blake Anderson, can you even put into words what that berm looks like on the outside of the track, specifically down in turns 1 and 2 where they're about to pick that debris up?
I can't quite see 1 and 2 as well, but it almost, I think you guys said it. It looks like a ramp from my view over here in turn number 3. In turn 3, it's a lot thinner up on the high side than it is down in 1 and 2, that's for sure. Not a lot to lean on over here. It's pretty much racetrack into the wall.
All right, well, the yellow lights have been turned off. Green flag is going to wave next time by. Again, 28 laps are scored. 12 laps remain. Bobby Pierce has been your leader since the drop of the green flag. He's trying to hang on for 12 more. The green waves in the Octane Race Products restart zone.
Back underway, man. Thornton catches the concrete. That allows Feger to pull up alongside. Pierce drives away. And now Thornton will diamond off the corner. Gets a run on Feger down the back straightaway. Feger into second, Thornton in third. Ashton Winger on the move. Fresh off a body slam and driver intros.
Oh, man.
Still feeling good. Going to be a little tight in the morning right now. He moves into position 5 around Hoffman. And we got a few around, and that'll draw the Coleman Farms caution. We're going a lap at a time right now. 29 down, 11 to go. And we got him turned sideways as Devin Moran's down there. Dylan Thornton, Hocevar pulls away. This racetrack, she's got choppy, man. It's become a challenge, and you got to think for any of these guys, you got to save your equipment for the last 11 laps.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that here in the iBox Springs instant replay if we have one. You're just going to see a couple guys wheel hop down in turns 1 and 2. Actually, don't know that we have that on an iBox Springs instant replay. I caught it out of the corner of my eye, just a little bit of wheel hopping down there in 1 and 2, and your two promoters provisionals actually caught up in that one. The 99 of Devin Moran and the 13 of Dylan Thornton, guys.
So I had my eyes on that one right down there in 1 and 2. Moran, he just wheel hopped and went around Dylan Thornton, and Hocevar had nowhere to go once he was turned sideways.
All right, well, Dilly going to call it a night as well. Stuck on lap. Well, did we sneak one?
We got
there?
one
We
in.
did.
Yep.
29 scored, 11 to go. Still Bobby Pierce out front, and Ricky Thornton Jr. Feger chooses the outside lane on this restart. By the way,
Feger, we'll see if he can do anything with it. Meanwhile, Pierce goes to the top. He changes his groove as right now they grab that cushion that's up on the wall. Feger pulls away from Thornton. Shippy goes to work on Thornton for the third spot. Hoffman's right there as well.
And Jason Feger doing his best to keep pace with the 32 that's been out front since the drop of the green
as man
flag.
Pierce got over the cushion, was able to keep it out of the concrete, but it lost a little bit of track as he allowed Feger to close in slightly.
Feger's got a good line around this track right now in the 25. He's got his feet under him. Yep, that's a drink. Ricky Thornton Jr. stays in third. Brandon Sheppard fourth, and now Nick Hoffman back inside the top 5.
Yeah, Pierce gets a little bit better run out of 1 and 2 that time. Feger catches the concrete in 3 and 4. And the lead now for Bobby Pierce with 8 laps to go. 1.5 seconds over Jason Feger. Thornton in third. Sheppy back in fourth. Hoffman in fifth. Nick back. It's Winger in sixth. And right now, they're going to need some help, and they may get it, and they do. A Coleman Farms caution comes out. We got debris on the racetrack down in 1 and 2 with 32 laps complete, 8 to go. And, man, it seemed like and there's also, you see a window support up there. It seemed like their one chance to get to Pierce was on that restart. He bobbled a few times in 1 and 2, and then once he got his momentum built back up, he was stretching it out.
Yeah, it looks like rear end shifted maybe. I don't know if the rear end is shifting that 74X, or he's just got some damage on the left side of the body. Guys down in the infield.
Yeah, he's got rear end issues. It was just starting to flare up with a little bit of smoke before that yellow flag came out. He might not even know it, but I'd imagine when he gets back on the gas, that's going to get worse.
I think it's not great under Coleman Farms caution, but yeah, it's going to be really bad under green.
Well, they're going to get the field lined back up again. 32 laps have been scored, 8 laps remain. Bobby Pierce has led since the drop of the green flag. And they're going to have another shot at him right here. Jason Feger in second, Ricky Thornton Jr. in third. Delaware double file restart fires in the Octane Race Products restarts.
Man, Pierce was all the way to the top of the racetrack, and it worked for him. He's able to pull away. Thornton comes after Feger again for a second spot. They race back complete lap 33. It's 32 in front of 25 and 20 RT tonight in the Dome.
Yeah, still a good battle back there from fourth on back as well between Brandon Sheppard and the B5, the 9 of Nick Hoffman and the 12 of Ashton Winger. But out front, It looks like it's Bobby Pierce's race to lose. 6 laps to go now, and the 32 continues to put distance between himself and Jason Feger. A 1.4-second advantage for BP.
Meanwhile, Sheppard to the inside of Ricky Thornton Jr. Pierce won this race in 17 and 18. It's been an all-or-nothing kind of deal at the Dohm with him. Either he's really good or he has no luck. 7 of these races he's made. Tonight he's trying to get his 3rd win. Ethan Dotson's fun meter's pegged out, and I imagine it probably got a little bit of vibration in that 74X. Just 4 laps to go for Bobby Pierce.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce at a 2.2-second advantage in this one. Feger with trouble in the 25. Thornton goes by. Sheppy goes by. He tries to hold off Nick Hoffman, and that will extend the lead for Pierce now with just 3 to go.
Yeah, Feger got in one of those holes and had all 4 wheels off the ground. Got it back under him, but he loses 2 spots first. Meanwhile, 2 to go for 32. Bobby Pierce out in front. His lead 3 seconds and growing over Ricky Thornton Jr.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce just trying to hang on now over the end of this one, Ben. He comes around this time. He'll be looking at the Hocevar Saloon last call. 1 lap to go for the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce.
Off into turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. He won the race in 17 and 18. Off into 3 and 4, $70,000 in his sights. Win 32 on the year for car 32. Bobby Pierce wins the Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals.
2nd spot's gonna go to Ricky Thornton Jr. Brandon Sheppard will round out the podium in 3rd. Jason Feger hangs on for 4th, and Nick Hoffman will finish in the top 5. 6th unofficially is Ashton Winger. Brendan Smith, a good run in 7th. A hat tip to Zach Dohm from 14th to 8th. Devin Moran will rally to finish 9th, and Carson Hocevar will hang on to round out the top 10 as you see the rest of the running order. And as our good friend James Essex would say, it's unofficial until it becomes official as Bobby Pierce makes his way through FK Rodden's victory lane. First things first, he's got to go back and pass Tech, and as long as everything checks out A-OK, we'll see him back out for a sweet manufacturing interview with Blake Anderson. It's the longest wait to get out of the car I've ever seen.
It is. Here he comes. St. Louis climbing out of the car, makes some noise for Bobby Pierce. The first 3-time Gateway Dirt Nationals champion. Oh, how about that catch? The helmet goes 70 large to Bobby Pierce.
Good thing I didn't break my hand.
Bobby, the first 3-time champion of this event. Win number 32 for car number 32. Was it just meant to be?
Man, it must have been, you know, you just dream of things like this. You know, ever since this event came around, it was a spectacle from the beginning, and I've watched it grow to what it is now. We got a packed house. I don't see it stopping from growing. I think one day this place will probably be full from the tippy top. So thanks to these fans for making this all possible, and Cody Summers, everybody. Man, we just won the Gateway Dirt Nationals 3 times. Let's go!
What is it, this 32? You were in your own zip code tonight. Every restart. Did those restarts get a little tiresome, or was it one of those situations you're like, okay, one more, so you keep you out of lap traffic and keep you in that clean air?
You had to get in the mentality, you know, the mind state heading into it, knowing that was going to happen. You know, a track this small, you're going to have some cautions, you're going to have some drama. So I told everyone back there, I was like, it's going to be a long 40 laps. And as much as you love to get the lead right away, you know, it makes the race feel like it's 140 laps. So you just have to get in that mind state, know what's going to happen, hit your marks on your restarts. I kind of changed it up a couple times. I think that gave me a little bit of an edge too. You know, I was coming down the hill, and then towards the end I started going on top, and yeah, just turn 1 was tricky, you know, bouncing through that hole. A couple times I felt like I was hitting it perfect, and then I'd come off the ground, and a couple times I go in there, I was like, oh, I really messed that up, and car go around there perfectly. But I don't know, just an awesome weekend. I guess we swept it all and had some luck on our side, and just all the hard work paid off. It's great when that happens.
How hard is it to be the rabbit for 40 laps at this place that's so physically demanding?
It is, but you know, luckily I didn't have to deal with like lap cars too much, and you know, some of the cautions fell when I kind of needed them to. I was kind of stuck behind a couple of them. You know, they're racing hard back there, which I mean, really, like they're in like 15th, so it's not like they're running 28th. So they're racing hard for position, and I got to keep that in mind while I'm trying to race them. And all the while the track's going through transition, so you kind of got to just stay mentally sharp, and the physical aspect of it, you're bouncing around. And luckily I got a really good just seat and everything, Ultra Shield with Sharp Advantage, and Longhorn builds a good car. Olin shocks, I think that Longhorn has a new package with Olin shocks, and that really helped us tonight, this whole weekend, and that last night at Sonoya too. So I think we got a pretty good package heading into next year. Thank you all them guys, and Swift Springs and VP Fuels, Longhorn, Vic Hill Engines, just everybody. I'll thank my sponsors in a minute. I'll let you talk.
How crazy. You've been here since the start. You're walking out of this place with $80,000 on a $10,000 win and $70,000 check. To think where we started to where we are, how crazy is that?
That is awesome. Let's go. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, all these fans. That's what did it, and the sponsor for putting up some money here. Thank you to them. And I mean, this event, like I said, I've seen it grow, and it deserves to pay this. I think all the racers have paid their dues, and Cody's took the chances, and I think he kind of had to build a safety net up for a while until he could afford to pay us that. So I just look forward to the future and see what it aspires to be. And I just love coming here. Man, I went from loving this place to then I didn't like it much. I just had to get in the mindset of bouncing through the holes and being the best car to do that. And really, the track wasn't as rough as it got last year. So hats off the track prep crew. The track was awesome. I really liked it a lot. American Racing Wheels held up really strong in the holes and bouncing off the wall. So fast shafts, had another fast shafts in the car this year. Durable as heck. So we kind of went with a different package, and that helped a lot. But I got to thank my sponsors quickly before I go. Without them, I can't do it. As I own this team, and we try to make it all work. So Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Churchill Transport, JT's Trackside Catering. I'm staying there. Thank you for the food all weekend. Check him out. Collins Brothers Towing. I know James didn't have the best luck this weekend. Toyota of Danville, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Fast One Speed Shop. New sponsor next year, they're back on again, is Pontiac RV. Shout out to them. We got Steininger Construction on the car. Performance Bodies, they help us out a lot. Thank you to them. Exit 210 Saloon, once again, shout out to them watching back home. I know they're all excited. I think I got most people. You'll come see the car at PRI show next weekend in the BAM booth. So, man, what a weekend. Let's go.
St. Louis, he's the first three-time Gateway Dirt National Champion. Make some noise for Bobby Pierce. Chris Moore, you're a second place.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. Here with our runner-up, Ricky Thornton Jr. Ricky, it felt like you had two really good opportunities. One, you had kind of just cleared Jason while Bobby was in lap traffic. The yellow came out, and then you had the one restart. It felt like you were figuring those out, and you plugged it in the fence there off of 4. Is there either one of those you feel like you really could have taken advantage of?
I don't know. I felt like lap traffic might have helped a little bit, but obviously Bobby had the best car. Really, I felt like he was probably the best car all weekend, kind of like about most of the year. So I don't know. I think I made a couple just mental mistakes, just trying to ride a little bit too long and then not, and then I screwed up on the restart, and that left Feger back by, and then I felt like if I could have got by him, maybe I could have got closer to Bobby, but Bobby wasn't even running around the top at that point. So I know once Bob would have told him to move back up, he would have got there and probably picked the pace back up. So it sucks to run second again. I feel like we've been really good, just not be able to seal it. So hopefully we can come back next year and have a great time. Obviously, everyone at Color Motorsports is working hard. It's nice to have Jeff Hoker Trucking here, Matt Mann Designs, my brother EMD Wraps, Cornet Engines, just Coltman Farms, Knights Companies. There's so many great people that help us get up and down the road. Dynamic Drive Lines and FK Rod Ends, Winners Rear Ends. It's pretty cool to be able to come out and hear all the fans booing and cheering. Makes it more exciting.
You mentioned trying to save your stuff. How hard is that, a 40-lap race? Typically you can a little bit, but 40 laps at this place, if the yellows don't happen, 40 laps can click off really quick. You might not even realize it.
Yeah, it does for sure. And I was trying to pay attention here down the front straightaway, see how many laps we had left, and then they took it off the screen. So I'm like, man, I really don't know how many laps were left. So you can save a little bit, but at the same time, you really got to go. So hopefully next year we can just be that little bit better.
You still got a crack at it tonight with the modified. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go, RTJ, another runner-up finish in the Saturday finale here in the Gateway Indoor Nationals. Trenton Berry's got our third place finisher.
Standing here with Brandon Sheppard. He's won this thing twice. He finished third, completed the podium. Here tonight, Shep, you got a spot there late. Jason Feger slipped back, but that was kind of all she wrote. You did come from sixth. Sure would have liked to got up there a couple more spots.
Yeah, for sure. It was tricky to pass there. We got to third at one point, and then the caution came out. I felt like that was my only shot. If I was going to see if I could run with Bobby or not, I felt like that was my shot, and then the caution come out. But, you know, overall, heck of a weekend for this B5 team. We got to thank all my friends and family for coming out and supporting this weekend. All the beautiful fans here filling this place up. Appreciate them. Appreciate Cody for this event and everybody at Flo, and just, like I said, everybody involved with this B5 team. It means the world to be able to come out here and race. And thanks to all the support at the T-shirt trailer or the booth up there. And just like I said, it's a huge event and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. And we just really enjoy, you know, coming in this dome and getting our little fifth mile smile on, I guess you would say. But had a lot of fun. I felt like we had a car capable of you know, running up there with Bobby if we could have got to him. But, you know, it was just, like I said, we did all we could do. We're definitely not disappointed in the weekend. We had a lot of fun, and you know, like I said, it's just means the world, and can't thank all my great supporters on this thing enough. Rocket Chassis, Fox Shock, Sheppard Auto Sales, Valvoline, Realtree, appreciate them coming on for this Dome deal, for this Dome wrap, and Mesilla Valley Transportation, Goose's Pub and Eatery, Denny Woodworth, attorney at law, my dad, my grandpa, my beautiful wife and kids, appreciate them. I am headed north to Chicago to watch my daughter at a cheer competition tomorrow. So,
hey, bouncing around this thing, especially from about the halfway point on, was it going to have to take luck for something else to happen there? You've had a kind of a moment to decompress.
Yeah, you know, all in all, it was they did a phenomenal job with the racetrack all weekend. The banking was a lot different this year than it has been in the past, so that threw us all for a little bit of a different curveball. It just raced a little bit different than what we raced on before. Just kind of the lines, especially in 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is about the same, but as far as the holes and stuff, man, I love when this place has got some character. The rougher, the better. There's no possible way that you're going to come out here on a perfectly smooth racetrack and say that it's a better race, you know. We always love to have a little bit of character here, so like I said, hats off to Cody and all the track people and everything you do to make the best show possible. I think we got something going on up here in the stands, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they're booing me. Who knows? Yeah, just thankful for everybody and appreciate everybody for coming out.
St. Louis, you're not booing Shep. Give him a round of applause there in the B5. Boys?
Well, how about that? Let's take a look at the race recap. And we knew when Pierce pulled the pole, my goodness. He was going to be tough. First start did not work out. Second start, much better. And then Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jason Feger, they went at it most of the race. And, man, Feger had a good run there late, fell backwards. They worked around Hocevar. And DJ, the big thing was Pierce just, man, he did everything he had to do, and it all fell his way.
It doesn't matter if you are at the Gateway Dirt Nationals or if you are at the biggest racetrack in the country. You put the 32 car out front, he's going to be incredibly hard to beat anywhere. That doesn't take away from that fantastic battle we had for second throughout most of the race between Feger and Thornton, as you see.
And you really thought when Thornton got to second and the caution comes out, you're like, all right, let's see what we got. And then, again, Bobby did exactly what he needed to do. Those guys put on an entertaining show. And yeah, it was rough down in 3 and 4. It was a lot, or in 1 and 2, it was rough in 3 and 4. And you saw guys using every inch of this racetrack and more the entire weekend.
Absolutely. You know, when I think back on this race over the course of the next few years, the one thing I think I'm going to remember is not just that Bobby Pierce led all 40 laps, but the fact that he had to hold off restart after restart after restart there with about 8, 10, 12 laps to go.
Yeah, and he did it. There were a few times where it might not have gone his way, but ultimately, late in the race, he pulls away to a 2.1 second advantage, $70,000 on the line, and it's going to Oakwood, Illinois. Bobby Pierce picks up his third Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals title here tonight.
And he becomes the first ever 3-time winner of the Kubota Gateway Dirt Nationals as well.